Are we live? We are live. Hello, people. Welcome back to the Carrier playthrough. This game includes violence and grotesque imagery. So last episode was kind of a strange one. It was a lot of backtracking. I almost get this sense that while they were designing or putting this game together, like when they got to that point, they were like, "Bro, we need to pad this out some." A lot of this game up until the last episode, it felt pretty like straightforward. Like the progress that I was making made sense, but with the previous episode, it felt like they were padding it out. It felt like, I mean, think about how much backtracking I had to do. And don't forget that damn quote unquote puzzle with the fuse. I went back and I looked at that part to see if I missed anything. And I'm telling you, like it's just like I thought. They were extremely vague about it. Like they didn't give you enough hints about what you needed to do there. They really didn't. If you don't believe me, just go back and watch it. Go back and I forgot exactly what he says when he's looking at um, those electrical panels or whatever. Those electrical boxes, whatever the hell they are. But what he says, it doesn't give you any indication whatsoever that you're supposed to take the fuse from that one or from one electrical room to the other. I'm telling you, it's not hinted at all in the least bit. But other than that, like I said, that whole part really just felt like a lot of backtracking. Because you think about it, I started the episode right here, and the whole previous episode was about getting, like if you think about it, it was about getting the nameplate to get to that area at the bottom there that hasn't been explored yet. That's what the whole episode was about. But the whole time, I'm running back and forth through the ship, doing like just feel like I was doing like little fetch quests and shit just to get that. It seemed weird because basically, I think it was just set up in a strange way because I finally get here, but in order to make progress, I got to go back through the ship and do a bunch of dumb shit involving the Jack's brother. I had to get that off my chest. That last episode was weird, man. It felt like obvious padding. And really everything I did was just to get this, everything, and that's what made it so weird. I went back and before I went to sleep today, I put on the Thing movie, the old one though from 1951. And I've talked about this before. How when you compare the Thing movies, it kind of serves as an example of how horror movies have changed over time. Because if you look at the original Thing movie, most of the characters survived. There were only like three, like I think there were like 3 or 4 deaths in the whole movie. And compared to like the newer ones where like 1 or 2 people survive, if that. Nice. I love those level ones, man, because it just lets you get rid of that little bit of damage you'll get every now and then. Nice to have. And it was just funny to me because I was watching it yesterday before I went to sleep, and like I was noticing characters that I didn't even remember, bro. I was like, who this shit? Yeah, I was looking. I was like, I don't even remember this girl. Part of the body is gone, but it's just a testament to like how like just how much of an emphasis horror movies placed on killing off so many characters now compared to in the past. Because most of the crew members in the original movie survived, and there were so many of them that when I went back to watch it, I didn't even recognize this one girl. I'm like, when? Who was this bitch? Three level two energy drinks for real? I just got three of them things. Oh, I'm Gucci. It's either gonna be a boss fight, like a ridiculous boss fight coming up. Yeah, it's gotta be. Didn't we see like a giant fish monster um a while ago? Like there was a like he had crawled through something. The chest is ripped open. I'm digging the vibe of this place though. It's pretty fucked up. Report concerning art infection and germination. When art germinates, a soft green substance is released which attaches itself to another living organism. It then uses this organism as a host or nesting place where it develops into a large plant like organism. Effects of infestation. Art controls those organisms infested by art physically and mentally. Such an organism also shows supernatural strength with limited rejuvenation powers. Possible military use. To protect itself, the parasitic organism shows an incredible ability to adapt to any environmental conditions. What we have seen on the ship is proof of this. The potential for military use is great. Yeah, I wonder, if you think about it, the way that the plant tries to even blend in with other people, even that could be considered a sort of adaptation. And speaking of the thing, I don't know if I made that the connection yet, but you can kind of see the similarity there as far as like an infection and how it tries to blend in with the other crew members by appearing to be human. Although it does seem like these plant creatures are pretty aggressive. they don't seem to try. They don't seem to try to conceal themselves for very long. Although maybe they're just not capable of doing that. One thing I will say about the older the original The Thing movie that's kind of funny about it. It's like there's this romantic subplot in there that it feels like really forced. Magazine too. Mm. It's kind of a shame this game doesn't have a shotgun. I don't think we're getting a shotgun. But yeah, there's like a romantic subplot in it. It just it feels really tacked on. It seems like they felt like they needed it when the story didn't really need it. It was that kind of thing. It felt very like formulaic and just out of place, honestly. That's what's weird about it. It felt really out of place. Two pistol magazines. Man, they really take good care of you in this game. I will say that. Machine gun magazine. I think there's gonna be a boss fight coming up though. Yeah, yeah, dude. We're fighting a boss soon, and he's probably gonna be a headache. Yeah, come on now. I'm a little like I don't want to be nitpicky here about things. I don't be nitpicky because the game has been pretty solid thus far, and I gotta appreciate that. But it's a little disappointing that the game doesn't have like multiple difficulty settings. At least I don't think it does. I'm pretty sure when I hit new game, there was no option to change it. But we're getting pretty close to the end of the game. Um, from what I understand, it's only about an 8 to 9 hour game, and this is what episode 8. So, and just like look at the resources, like it's kind of crazy actually. I'm doing really well, basically. It could be my the result of my vast amount of survival horror game knowledge. Surrounded. Yep. This old trick. Well, they got me. Did he just lay back down before I even shot him? Yeah, I feel like they've tried that before. I guess the correct answer was to just run, but it wasn't a big deal. Oh shit, the fish man. I guess that's like another one of his adaptations. Wow. Okay. I don't think they really needed to do like such a to have like a little cinematic moment there to show the zombies coming out of the water. I mean, just let them come out of the fucking water. Because they've already done that before. It felt like they were doing the same thing. The body of a researcher. But if you notice, the other two, the Thing movies, they don't have any sort of romance in them whatsoever. The one that came out in the '80s is all the characters are male. In fact, there are no female characters in that. And look at them. Damn, those float physics, man. Is he gonna float right out of the room? It's like, bro, it's like he's about to float right out of the room. But yeah, the one that came out in the '80s had no women in it whatsoever. It was all dudes, and they weren't trying to fuck each other. The one that came out in 2011, the third one, the main character was a female, and there was another girl, but there was no romance in that one really. She got a little flirty with the pilot, but that was about it. Didn't really lead anywhere. Everything seems normal. I'm not saying the Thing can't have like a romantic subplot, but it doesn't really need it. I guess horror movies in general, if you think about it, don't really need it. Oftentimes, romance in survival horror. I say survival horror. I thought that might apply here too. But romance in horror movies is used typically it's used for like sex scenes and things like that. It's for sex scenes, um, to build relationships like between certain characters and whatnot. But I think part of the problem is that with horror movies, um, hold up, give me 1 second. That's gonna be a weird thing to do in the middle of the stream. I mean, the middle of the playthrough, but my face is really dry. Hold Mm, okay. I am sorry. What's that noise? Oh shit, that was very unprofessional of me. Look at this dude. Dude, the range on this shit is terrible. You know, I gotta be honest, man. These monsters are not much of a threat. A lot of times they rely on uh trickery to even get any damage off of you. You know, a lot of getting hit in this game is based on the camera angles. Let's be honest. Like just not seeing what's in front of you, forgetting to use the scanner. I will say that with the scanner, you do have a way to get around the fixed camera angles. Okay, there's another one right there. But he had his back turned. Okay, that wasn't too bad. But you know, it's funny. I just talked about that. Most of the time when you get hit, it's because of the camera angle. Now you notice when I walked in, I didn't. It did make noise, but I didn't see like how far away it was from me. So I think I was about to go for the scanner before I got hit there. But if I would have walked in and would have saw him, I would have immediately just. And you notice, and I'm not gonna go in on it too much because I've already ranted about this. But you notice that this is the camera angle they go for most of the time when you walk into a room, and it's for a reason. Because if you go into the room and you can see everything in there, then you'll react accordingly. If you see a person, then you'll just scan them real quick. But like this, if there's an enemy, you don't know which way he is, so you kind of gotta just ready yourself. But he was so close that he was able to get a hit in on me, where if I would have saw it, like if I would have saw the layout of the room as I came in, enemy there and over there, I would have came in and just said pop 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 pop, 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 just like that. He would never got a chance. But that's what I'm saying. A lot of what allows enemies to even hit you in this game is those damn camera angles, bro. It's kind of sad. I gotta be honest. Art analysis order confidential. NTA Development Department, Section 3, Section Chief Greg Bryan. The members of the Development Department on the Heimdall are ordered to continue their investigation of the military uses of art. What? Concentrated sulfuric acid obtained. A microscope. Maybe it was used to check art. You don't have anything to say about this dude? Okay. Everything seems normal. I'm a little worried though, because I've checked all these rooms now, and all we found is some sulfuric acid. I mean, that's kind of good because that's a key item, but it's bad too because I don't know what to do with it. I can't even think of a room or a place where I would have needed to use it. Oh, wait a minute. Key like object. A piece of metal shaped like an old key covered with an unknown substance. Concentrated sulfuric acid. Yeah, combine it with that. Do I gotta put the key under the microscope? And I don't know, man. I was just thinking desperately, but I think that's pretty clear. The acid is used on the key, but how do we use the acid on the key? That's the question. All right, maybe a cutscene will happen that will kind of initiate certain events to happen. For now, let's just keep moving. Yeah, I think I got up here this way. Well, down here this way. I found out that there's a subreddit for found footage horror movies. Not really surprising. I mean, it's become a very popular genre. I found out that I always thought I was weird for having a tendency to like to have horror movies playing as I sleep. Now, every horror movie doesn't work for that though. That's the thing. Like you need a specific type of horror movie to go to sleep to. Like there's a science to it, in my opinion. You know, I think horror movies that are good to sleep to are ones that have like a slow start, but also ones that tend to not be too intense overall. Something like Alien is a very good example of a good horror movie to fall asleep to. 'Cause it's long. It's a long movie, and it takes a long time. It takes a long time um for things to really get jumping. Dude, I don't even know where I have to go. I don't know, and I'm a little worried about just going back up. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm worried about just going back up just to go, but let's just do it. I do remember that one guy told me to go to deck 6, so I'm gonna see. I might try that. Otherwise, I don't know what to do outside of having this key and the acid that I can't use on the key. Yeah, those are those guys that put paws on me earlier. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, there's a science to picking the right horror movie to fall asleep to. I say Alien is a good one. Cause it starts off really slow. Like if you look at like the timing of it, things don't really get bad until like I think like 45 to 50 minutes into it. You don't even see the alien until like that point, and because it's like a 2-hour movie. One of my favorites, but it's kind of like not really good for falling asleep to be honest. But the build up is perfect for it, but the second half isn't. Is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre? the Texas Chainsaw Massacre has like it's the perfect beginning for like falling asleep too. Because it's just the main characters going on their little road trip. They run into the hitchhiker, but that's just like a weird. Oh shit! Hold up, let me see what he got to say.
Hurry, Jack. The doctor is in danger. The lives of the survivors are in our hands.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try to go to deck 6. Oh shit. Yeah, they run into the hitchhiker, but I don't think anything really happens. Like, I don't think the first death happens until like 30s, 35, or like 40 minutes into the movie. And I remember when I was watching or listening to the commentary for that movie, one of the actors who was in the movie, or the director, I forgot who, but he said the movie up until that point, the point where you get the first death, is almost like a cigarette commercial. Because other than the hitchhiker, nothing really bad is happening. It's like it's friends hanging out. You kind of getting to know the characters and building a bond with them and things like that. But the problem with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, as far as being like a movie to fall asleep to, a horror movie to fall asleep to, is that like it gets very intense. to, like the second half is super intense. Like once Franklin, well, I don't know, I guess that's a spoiler, but uh once you're down to Sally, well, I mean, you should have seen it by now. Goddamn. Once Sally is the last girl standing, and she's getting chased through the woods by Leatherface, like that's super intense, and that part is not fun to to have on when you're trying to go to sleep. I'll put it like that, because it's really loud. She's screaming, and it's the chainsaw roaring and revving the whole time. But if you can fall asleep before that point, I say like right before Franklin gets killed, you'll be alright. So did I just run through those lasers? Wow, what the fuck? I thought those lasers hurt. Did I just, by pure luck, avoid all the lasers there? What was in here again? This is bombs, right? Yeah. Yeah, I think somebody want me to go to deck 6. Let me see here. It is locked. It is locked. Emergency evacuation. Okay. I don't know. I don't have an option to combine them. Yeah, so it's like this is deck 6, but I can't. Let me see. I don't know. Like maybe there's like a bowl or something you got to put it in. That's what I'm thinking. Like there's a spot somewhere. Yeah, I mean I gotta be honest. I'm kind of at a loss here. Um, there's that area over there. I guess there's a room right there that I haven't even been in too. On deck too, but we ain't going all the way back there. Let's see what deck 5 will take us. Okay, well we are close to that room. Hmm. What's the best way to try to get there? I mean, let's just check it out. Maybe it's open or something. We'll see. It's about all we got. If all else fails, I'm gonna go back to that nameplate room. Okay, let's see if I can get to that big room from here. Okay, maybe the door is up the ladder. I might reset the game, so I won't have to backtrack back to that the nameplate area. Because what I have to do might be in one of those rooms. Like I said, it could be like something I don't know, something I gotta do there that I missed. That's possible. But I think found footage movies can be some of the best ones to fall asleep to, because a lot of those um, have a slow build up, a slow kind of a slow burn. Quarantine is another good one that I like. That's cause again, it starts off very comfy. You know, you got a news reporter doing a special on firefighters, and she's just following them. Then they get to the apartment. It gets crazy kind of fast, but it stabilizes. I'll put it like that. It does get crazy pretty fast though. It's a little too quiet. Like once they get to the apartment building and they run into the first infected, there's some crazy shit happening there. But like I said, it stabilizes and continues to be kind of comfy despite the craziness of it all. Is this room like just flooded? Is that what it is? Like, yeah, I don't know. It might be too much water to even explore down there, and that might be the reason. I think it's too much water down there. Unless we can get down a level. Hmm. Grave Encounters. That's another good one. That's a good one. It's got a pretty like slow build up, and it's even kind of funny at first. Hmm. I feel like I've been getting stuck a lot more often now towards the end. Okay, hold up. I think I'm gonna reset. I think I'm gonna reset. So I ain't gotta backtrack back there. We'll be right there in that area. I think so. Depending on where I last saved that. But it's not like I've done anything since. I think overall the goal is to get to deck 6, but oh yeah, Blair Witch Project. That's another one of my favorites. That game. I think the best horror movies to fall asleep to. It comes down to its pacing and the overall intensity. But if it has a lot of them have an intense ending anyway. But as long as it doesn't get like too intense too early, like too loud too early and shit like that. I mean, you would have turned the volume down some anyway because you're going to fuck to sleep. But I think it's about it's about the vibe. You want something that has like a spooky, ominous type of vibe, but also again comfy. Wait a minute, is that? Yeah, yeah, it's right way. I mean, think about the Blair Witch Project. The characters they start hating each other towards the end, but there is that point where they are just making the documentary in the woods, eating marshmallows by the campfire, you know. And I think that's why horror movies can be kind of comfy to fall asleep to because just moments like that. It can be a nice, like, sort of, like a creepy vibe, but there's also this sense of like togetherness amongst like the main characters, and I think that's why it works for falling asleep too, because it's almost like you feel like you're falling asleep with the crew or with the characters before everybody gets killed. Okay, so this was the magazine room. We checked everything in here. I guess I've been kind of jumping to conclusions with this game. I I always feel like for the past couple episodes, I feel like it's gonna be a stuck episode, but then I end up figuring out what to do. This time, I'm honestly not sure. I, I gotta say, but like I said, maybe I'm just jumping to conclusions. Maybe I feel like if I don't figure out what to do within 5 to 10 minutes, I'm fucked. It might be a bad habit. So yeah, I missed it. Um, I mean, isn't that so funny? I was just starting to get to that point. I told you, I just said it. If I get stuck for 5 to 10 minutes, I'm like, it's a stuck episode. It's gonna be one of those. I mean, it happens. It happens for sure. You have an episode where you make very little progress, and you kind of end it on a bad note, not knowing what to do. I will say this. Yeah, I missed it, but look at this, bro. Does that look special compared to anything else? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, y- you would have you would have to literally check every spot in this room because compared to every other object, that really doesn't look. Am I tripping? That does not look special at all, bro. Am I tripping? Right? Like you would have to check this, that, 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 of course, this, that, that, the bed, those documents, and even this. This is probably like the least likely thing you should examine in this room. But I'm just saying, like at the very least, the scanner should have picked up on it, in my opinion, because it just looked like a normal part of the room. Doesn't really look important. A fume hood. But I figured that was it. I figured that you had to put the key somewhere special, then put the acid on it. Emergency lock key obtained. Okay. Now I wonder if that's for the deck six. If that's for the, that deck six area, or if it's for the area up here. I mean, you guys know I'm always on the hunt for a good horror movie or even a bad one. Let's be honest. But part of the hunt is looking for like those comfy horror movies that I can kind of just put on in the background. I can put on when I go to sleep. Really, now that I think about it, a lot of older horror movies kind of fit that bill. Because older horror movies, a lot of them has a slow build up and didn't get too crazy. Something like City of the Living Dead. That's a good example. I think it's called City of the Living Dead. That's the one with God, what's his name? It's Christopher something. The guy that played, Dracula back in the day. He was in all those Hammer horror movies with Peter Cushing and whatnot. Christopher something. Damn, I forgot his name. Oh, here we go. The emergency lock has been deactivated. Um, I know. This might seem a bit extra, but I'm gonna go save real quick because I got a feeling that it could be a boss battle coming up, and it might be the one that not necessarily kills me, but I don't know, I just want to be because the save is right here. I mean, just get it out the way. But it's no telling what's in there. What's that guy's name? It's Christopher something. It's like Christopher Reeve is Superman, right? Forgot that guy's name though. It's Christopher something. It's Peter Cushing and it's Christopher. The other guy's I forgot, but he played Dracula, and I think he played the Mummy in one movie too. I think he's probably best known for playing Dracula. He was in City of the Living Dead. He was the weird teacher that was practicing witchcraft. That was a pretty good movie too. Oh shit. Oh yeah, this is definitely a boss fight. This is yeah. It's gonna be a fish man. He's so handsome for a fish. Come on now, look at that. Boss incoming. Look at, come on, bro. Do I look like an idiot? They doing way too much to set this up though, bro. Oh my god, this game. It's like they just didn't know how they wanted to introduce the boss. Okay. Oh shit, I'm really slow. Let me see how much damage he's doing to me. Might be really bad. Cause he doesn't have any like special defenses. Like some of the other boss characters do. Let's try the Riot Buster. Oh man, dude. And nah, bro. Hell no, bro. Do not use the Rocket Buster on this guy. Pro tip. Do not try to use the Rocket. It's too slow, man. You better off just using the goddamn machine gun. And I didn't it look like I hit him point blank that second time. Like the first two I know I missed. That was my fault. That's that third time, but I definitely hit him. Well, I didn't clearly, but I'm saying it should have hit him. Yeah, dude, you can't. You, what the hell? What did they expect? As far as like dodging them, you're kind of like too slow to dodge him. I don't know what the fuck that was supposed to be. Dude was behind me. This boss just, it kind of feels like a health tax, to be honest. Like, it's just, because there aren't many. Oh shit, he's in his super mode. Okay, but you can dodge him if you time it right. It's not impossible. I fucked up there. That was my fault. I don't know what that was. Yeah, this battle, it just feels like a health tax, to be honest with you. Yeah, you can time the dodge though. You can definitely time it. Lord. Yeah, it's not ridiculous or anything like that, but it just feels like a health tax. But you can dodge if you time it right. You can dodge. I will say that it's.
What the hell?
Damn. Okay. Yeah, that wasn't nothing crazy. Um, it wasn't even really unfair. Cause like I said, like towards the second half, I started to realize that you are fast enough to dodge his attack when he locks in on you. You just got to back up away from him. I could have avoided quite a bit of damage there if I would have played it smarter. I don't know. We could load it back up, but I don't really think that's gonna be necessary. To be honest with you, I think we're good to go. Yeah, I do. I think we're gonna be all right in the long run. I might regret that, but where am I? Wait, okay, where the fuck am I at? Do I go this way? No, damn. So what do I mean by health tax? That's a term that I actually got from Tim Turry. When they would do the let's plays on the Game Informer channel, the Super Replay show that they had. A lot of times they would get Tim Turry. Well, but this was like way back in the day. They would get Tim Turry to play the survival horror games, and they were playing Martian Gothic. And Martian Gothic just not a good game. It's actually more of a puzzle game than like a action oriented survival horror game. Like the action and the fighting is really just tacked on. And so a lot of times, Tim, he would get bit by zombies because I think the zombies couldn't be killed. Like you could only kill them or take them down temporarily. So you would constantly have to backtrack and come across like zombies that were kind of hard to avoid. Because of things like tank controls and all the normal mobility limitations that make it difficult to navigate around enemies in games like these. Oh shit. Yeah, I can't go that way anyway. And so it got to a point basically where he kept getting like occasionally bitten by the zombies. And he realized that there's no real skill to avoiding them. Like it's almost an inevitability. Like he broke it down to it just being a health tax. The zombies are there just to take some of your health occasionally. So he looked at it like it's not something to stress yourself out about. You're gonna get bit sometimes. You're gonna get bit. It's there isn't like any complex gameplay mechanics to really avoid the zombies other than shooting them. And even then, a lot of times they're just gonna get you, right? Like it was just the way that game was. It was just hard to avoid getting bit by zombies for very long. And so yeah, that's kind of how he broke it down. He said he called it the health tax. Occasionally, the zombies are gonna tax you for health. So like, I guess that was his way of not getting stressed out about getting hit in that game. Because he just looked at it as an inevitability. They made the zombies kind of unfair on purpose so that the player would just get hit sometimes, and if they were really stupid, you'll end up dying. Control panel for the turbine. It is activated and cannot be stopped. Okay. But yeah, a health tax is essentially just like a game that's set up in such a way where you're gonna get hit, and that there isn't much skill to avoiding it.
This is Jack. Captain, what happened?
We have a problem. The weapons control system is running wild. It may program a missile launch.
Great.
What?
If there is a missile launch, headquarters will abandon the investigation. They'll attack the Heimdall.
Roger.
Am I on a timer? Go to this room. Go to this room. Okay, how do I get there? The sensor is damaged. Well, this is probably just gonna be trial and error right here. Because I don't even know how to get there. Oh, shit. Probably ain't got time for this shit. Okay. I think it's this way. You probably better off just taking a hit time, you know, to save time. That's funny. You probably shouldn't put a visible enemy in front of invisible enemies. It kind of gave away their location. Main battle command system.
Weapons control system shut down. To completely deactivate the weapons system, shut down the subsystems. Main system has been shut down. All systems transferred to the subsystems.
What the fuck is that?
Substation was not shut down. Main system will be reactivated.
Okay. Any more?
Weapons control system shut down.
Did they really put that little enemy there just to slow you down a little bit? This game is just despicable sometimes.
Main system has been shut down. All systems transferred to the subsystems.
Okay.
Weapons control system shut down.
You saw that? They literally put like one little
That should do it.
small invisible enemy by the little subsystem there, so just to slow you down a little bit more. He is already dead. That was so cheap, bruh. That was so cheap. I ain't even gonna lie, but like cheap in the worst kind of way. Like that wasn't even cheap. That was petty. Oh man, you know sometimes this game it just disappoints me with some of the dumb shit they do. That was disappointingly petty. My machine gun ammo getting kind of low too. I think I'm gonna switch over to the handgun for a while. Might need that for a boss. Who knows? I don't want to get too. I don't want to get too cocky here. I know that part was supposed to be intense, but it really wasn't because I just saved, so I wasn't really worried. And it's one of those things where you guys, I don't know, you got to time moments like that better, you know, for putting stress on a player. It's about timing, you know. I give you like the perfect example, Resident Evil. When you have, it's that part when you go into, I think, what is it, the guard house, you know, the cabin in the woods part. And then you go into the basement, you know, where the sharks are. Because you're going into like the water tanks. Oh, hold up.
This is Transport 101. Heimdall, do you copy?
This is Spark Team Sergeant Ingalls.
Spark? So you're still around?
You're like, y'all ain't left yet.
We are above you. We'll be on the deck soon.
Great. Any survivors should be on the flight deck. Can you take care of them for me?
Survivors. Survi- Survivors. Yeah, he started to kind of aim past the one in front of him, and it worried me a little bit. But yeah, that part basically, in the water basement area of Resident Evil 1, and I don't know, maybe you do it in the original too, but you definitely do it in the remake, and it's like you act, you're trying to like drain the area of water, but it's a way you got to do it, and if you don't get it right, the water's gonna flood the area and kill you. The timing of that part is perfect. It really is, because you might have just saved like minutes ago, but the amount of time that it takes to get to that room is, it's perfect for stressing you out in terms of like hoping that you get it right the first time. Because I think it's after you have to move those boxes, right? And that's pretty slow. That takes a minute. And then you got to navigate around those sharks too, just to get to that area. And then you find out, oh wait, I'm trying to drain the water, but if I don't do it if I don't do it right in the amount of time they give me, I'm gonna die. Like, it's the perfect timing where it's not like unfair, but it's enough to make you sweat. That wasn't really enough to make me sweat. I just saved.
Captain, the weapons control system has been deactivated. I received a transmission from the transport earlier. It's above the Heimdall and is preparing to land. I asked them to take care of the survivors on the flight deck.
So, they came just in time. We finally have a
Reveal.
way out of this mess. I guess I owe you one. Thanks.
I was only doing my job.
Well, let's not get too formal.
Yeah.
I'll head to the flight deck and prepare to evacuate.
I'll head for the second computer room where the doctor is.
That would be good. I've opened all the doors controlled from here.
What the hell is that?
Captain, that's the capsule that Lieutenant Manning had, isn't it? What's inside?
Nothing. Forget about it.
Nah,
Just
bro.
something headquarters wanted.
That's a
But you
sample.
better get going, unless you want the doctor to be bait for those monsters.
I'm betting on that being like some sort of sample or something. I still can't rule him out as being somebody that's going to betray the team eventually. And this right here kind of confirmed, like, dude, come on now. This got to be like a sample of the arc or something. Jack seems like he's a bit too naive to kind of see what's happening there.
Hurry up. Aren't you worried about the doctor?
Not really. There's a strange plant on the screen. So I don't know, like why is he looking at plants? Or I don't know. It's not a coincidence. The liquid is a fluorescent green. Okay. Well, whatever the case, it don't seem like you can stop him from getting that sample. I guess Jack is just, again, he's so naive that he isn't really aware of what's happening there. Okay. And I think that door down there was locked. Okay, left or right? Actually, we got a few unlocked doors here. Okay, let's go in this one. Oh boy.
Jack, can you hear me?
They could have did better
Are
with
you
this
okay?
screen here,
I'm on
man.
my way there.
Good. But I think one of the doors on the way is shut. Just wait.
Dude, I don't know, something wrong with this dude. I don't know. He kind of talking funny.
Come here quickly.
Doctor, what
What
happened?
happened, that doctor?
Doctor? What was that? What happened?
So it must be this way, but I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna go through the other door. Yeah, I figured either the doctor or the other guy, the Christopher Walken looking dude, was gonna betray us. I knew that the doctor for sure. The doctor, you can never trust the doctor. Not in a story like this where you have like some sort of scientific discovery, a magical ancient plant, anything like that. You can never trust. You can never trust the scientist type in these situations because their desire to examine or learn or research whatever it is always going to overtake their good sense. They're always going to want to try to protect it. Second engine room. What the fuck? The engine is at maximum power. Damn, what the? I gotta say, they did a pretty good job with that though. That's kind of impressive for Dreamcast era. It's locked from the other side, but most of these doors are just locked. Damn. Yeah, I'm kind of impressed by this visual here. It's kind of cool actually. But oh well. Doesn't Snyder. Probably I'm gonna have to do something with the doctor and then come back here and a lot of locked doors basically. A lot of locked doors here. Okay, and so the doctor was the other way, right? Okay. Yeah, a lot of games will try to pull that trick though. To put a timer on you to stress you out. That wasn't a good example. Don't. I can't say don't. I guess it depends on. I wouldn't suggest it if you want, because the whole point of it is to put pressure on the player. But there is gonna be, whoa, there is gonna be a lot of pressure if the player just saves. You gotta time it right. You gotta put it in an area where like the player hasn't saved in a while, more than likely, but has also probably done something a little important. Man, those iframes were really convenient for me there. I'll admit though, like that was me rushing. I got a little cocky there. What the hell? Yeah. It seems like so far, whenever I've gotten hit, it's either because I'm rushing or like, them setting me up with bad camera angles. What is that magazine? First engine room. Oh, okay. Wait, magazine is usually like a. That's usually like. Well, I guess they're saying it's leading to the magazine room, but that's like used like a weapons area. Okay, the security system is activated. So what's this? This might be. Huh. This might be it right here. There are plants blocking the way. An explosion from the other side might clear away. So I guess maybe you got to go in there from the other side and blow them up. I'm gonna just try it here though, just in case. Ah! Well, you can't say I'm not thorough. Okay, left or forward? One of these should be like yep, magazine. Three pistol magazines. Okay. It's kind of weird that they call this the magazine room, though. I guess it's kind of literal. Because it is more like an ammo storage area than anything else. Okay, that's great. I gotta say those bombs have not been extremely useful. They're too dangerous to try to use in combat most of the time. Too awkward. Okay, that's gonna be it. So next time we'll probably have a reveal of a betrayal by the doctor, the mad scientist. So